meaningful number. And I remember saying, listen, if we can't give cars away to every single person in the audience, then the idea is not, there is no idea here. There's nothing to do. Just find out another. And, by the way, we had not yet talked to Oprah or anybody because we could not figure out how to do that. But this is all just theoretical. Hey, let's give away 10 cars. And I remember being in the review meeting going, guys, that's not compelling because no one's going to remember that. And the next person's going to come in and give away 50 cars. And then it's like, there's no point to that. It doesn't really achieve the objective. But it wasn't their fault. They were just naturally assuming that it's like, well, the company's not going to throw down, millions of dollars to do this. But then they came back and said, well, how about 25? We think that's a meaningful number. And I remember saying, listen, if we can't give cars away to every single person in the audience, then the idea is not, there is no idea here. There's nothing to do. Just find out another angle, but it isn't this one. So they came back, they ran the numbers, and they said, okay, in order to do this, we're going to need about $8 million, which it's not in our budget. We didn't have that to throw away on a promotional activity like that. So we had to go up the ladder to the VP of marketing, which is like the CMO of GM. And there's actually two guys and pitch. And I had a really strong partner named Ms. Mary Kubitsky who had sort of brought the whole idea through and helped nurture it and build it out and sort of figure out how this was going to work. And so she and I were in their offices, and it was it was a kind of a difficult meeting because the head of GM marketing was asking questions about like the ratings of daytime television. They're like, well, we're going to spend this much money on a daytime television show. And like, what are the ratings and why, what's the reach and for one time only? And what, are you kidding? This doesn't match any, CPM, metric that we would approve. And Mary and I were trying to convince them that no, this is like an influencer. This is like, it's like before influencers were a thing. This is influencer marketing. This is, an investment in the belief in this car, not just hearing the name, but the trust in the fact that it's really good. And you should want to buy it if you're in that market. Okay. So it's a depth of persuasion, not just hearing the name. Although it is also hearing the name. So ultimately, they decided not to kill the idea. They said, okay, we'll think about it overnight. And we were on a short clock. By this time, we had opened up the door to Oprah. We'd had a couple of positive serendipity things fall in our lap where we got an audience with Gayle King, Oprah's best friend. And then Gayle took it to Oprah. And they asked, well, would you guys really do that? And we said, well, would you really do that? And the idea turned into them not doing it in December at Favorite Things episode, but to pull it up to September to their season opening broadcast, which now meant we were on the clock really, really close. Like we were out of time. We had a yes or a no. And one of the two gentlemen in the room took the idea back home and he talked to his wife, and his wife told him that he'd be an idiot if he didn't do this. And he convinced the other guy that they'd both be idiots if they didn't do it. And so they gave us the $8 million and we went off and did it.